create, relate, erase the hate. Our memories, these things we make. Each stitch we take our time. We take each word, we make them rhyme. We on, we off, these floss, we fraud. Two men dissolve to walk the dog. We tune, we zoom, the room, the moon, the birds, the boughs, the stars, the moon.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and welcome to my channel Stitching It. Today I'm doing some planning for an upcoming event that has become a regular thing in the cross stitch community. It is Stitch Maynia, named after the month of May, of course. So I've been laying out my whole month, you know, trying to plan to what I'm going to do, to how to celebrate with some new starts. And this is going to be the third year that I have participated in Stitch Maynia as an, you know, as a floss tuber too. And I sort of participated a year or two before that, but now I keep a record of everything, and I am going to share with you some things that I'm going to be doing this month. But first, I wanted to share an update with you about the giveaway from my last video before I get into my planning. So I had two giveaways in my Flosstube last time, and the first one was a Mill Hill giveaway, and the second one was for a hand-dyed Fabrics by Stephanie giveaway. So I was able to put everybody's name into a Tiny Decisions wheel, and I'll draw that now. So the first one is going to be for the Mill Hill giveaway. Alright, Amanda Price, you just won the Mill Hill giveaway, so I will be contacting you on that comment and letting you know that you won. So, great. Congratulations. And the second one, we had about twice as many entries on that, but is a $20 gift certificate from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, and that will be delivered to you through a code in your email. So let's see who is the winner on that drawing. Alright, Debbie from Creatively Yours, you are the winner of the gift certificate from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. So I will be letting you know that you won, and great. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all of your comments. It was a really fun episode for me to do, and if you haven't noticed, I have a new theme song for my show now that my husband made for me. So let's get into the planning though for Stitch Maynia, because we are less than a week away from Stitch Maynia, and I've been holding my breath and biding my time to wait for this video, you know, but it's very exciting, you know, watching everybody else's projects and plans come out. And so here we go. First, I'm going to kind of explain what my method has been going on for the past couple years. I have never done an actual full mania, as in a start every single day for 15 days or more. I've been kind of adding for the past few years. The first year I think I did like 3 or 4 projects, you know, and then after that I added, you know, 4 or 5. I think I did 5 that year in 2017. And then last year in 2018 I did the most. I don't remember exactly how many starts I did, but it was 7 or 8. You know, it was about half of a mania, or whatever you want to call it. But now, since I've been doing it for a few years, I've been keeping track of the projects that I have left that I haven't UFO'd or finished. right now I still have a few projects from a couple years ago, but I am keeping the ones I've done in previous years. If I haven't finished them, then I'll re-stitch on them at least the day that it started. But I do plan to eventually fill in all of these blanks, and then as we go on in years, so this is 2019, it officially ends for me on the 19th. Next year it'll probably go until the 20th, and I'll start something on the 20th, you know. So I am eventually going to have the whole month covered, you know, in projects or not, you know, depending on if I finish it. Now, the whole time we've had this thing displayed, let's get into the plans, and I'll show you my projects, my what I've got kitted up, and my whips that I'm going to be doing, and it shouldn't take that long. So my first start this year is going to be another in the Mill Hill series that I've been doing, which is the Laurel Birch Sun and Moon series that she's got. I showed you guys my last finish in my last video, and now this is going to be its companion. So this is Celestial Joy by Mill Hill, and I expect this one to be a finish, of course, this year. It would be nice if I could finish it during the month of May. That is my plan, really. The last one took me just inside 5 weeks to finish, and that was just with doing other things. So my goal this time, of course, is to try to finish it during the month of May, and it's going to be my first start for that reason. And as you can see, I'm only adding 4 starts this year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for what I've got to do, and since I really love those big projects, you know, it's still gonna be a lot. So that's gonna be on the 1st and the 2nd. Now my next start on the 3rd is a Nashville start from this year, from the Nashville Needleworks Market, and this is a Kathy Barrick chart called Chels Moth. It is a reproduction of something that was stitched in the 19th century, but I'll show you guys what drew it to me, because I love just difficult, complicated things, you know, and the model is stitched on 40 count, you know, 1 strand over 2 threads, but it also, I didn't get the necklace kit, I just got the pattern, but it's also stitched an alternate way, 1/1 on 40 count, and then finished as a necklace here. But I thought that was really neat, and I've always been attracted to the idea of stitching twins, is the term that I've been hearing people call them, where you're stitching 2 of the same pattern on different fabric, right, on different counts, so, or different colors. You know, you're stitching it twice at the same time. So that is what is referred to as having stitching twins. Okay, so what I got for the fabric, which I think is going to be perfect, is Gingery by Hand Dyed Happiness, and this is in 40 count. So I've got a whole 1/4 yard of it, so it's going to be plenty big, but this I think is going to be perfect. Modeling is really pretty, and it's almost the same exact color as this other fabric. And there's going to be plenty enough room, I think. The design is 177, I think. 133 by 74. So it's not that big. I should have plenty enough room to attempt to do both. And then still have excess. And I'm just going to use DMC for that. I just picked up a couple in my stash that were already ready. But that's one thing I have to do, is make one last Hobby Lobby run to pick up some DMC, get some list for that. So it's going to be SG's Moth. I'm going to change that to SG, you know. Okay, so that's on the 3rd and the 4th. Now, on the 5th, I had a start last year, which is the Time Traveler, which you guys have seen recently, because I used that during my 24-hour cross-stitch challenge video, whatever. So this is where I'm at. I've done a little bit. I mean, I just started with a hair, but I'm officially on page 2 now. So I will be working on her for the 5th and the 6th. Yeah, and that's a nice, I really like that chart. Not only is the chart just really, it's really big and easy to read, but yeah, she's just a really pretty girl. But the bulk of the stitching is on the 2nd and then the 3rd and the 4th pages is at the bottom. So we'll see what happens to her. She's one of my Stitch 9 pieces, so I planned to try to finish her this year, and I don't know if I'm going to concede on that yet. Now, this next chart is actually, I've been thinking about this one for a while. Let me show you the picture on that one. This is my dear, I don't know how to pronounce it, my dear Jolene. I don't know how to say that. This is a long dog sampler, and it's out of the Complete Cross Stitch collection. And I started this last year, and I haven't worked on it since then. And it kind of irked me at the time when I was working on it, but you know, one of the neat things is that you get better and better every year. And so I was like, maybe I should go back to it this year and see, you know, before I throw in the towel on it, and see what can be done as far as, is it me or is it the pattern? And it couldn't be the pattern, so I guess it just must be me. But this is what I got done last year, and it's on 32 count Lugana, Mystic by Picture This Plus. And I'm just using B5200 for the whole thing. And I like it. I mean, I would like it if somebody else stitched it, you know. But I'm gonna give it another chance, and I don't really care for the even weave, you know. But it would be very beautiful if it were actually finished. And that's the thing. So I'm not giving up on it yet. So that'll be back for the 7th and the 8th. Now, the 9th was up for a while. I couldn't decide what I was gonna do. That was definitely gonna be a start. It was open, and I kind of waffled around for a while until, well, Caroline from Off the Grid Needle Arts, she basically decided for me. After she announced and started her Game of Swans, Sal, I love long dog samplers, and I had the perfect fabric. Basically, I was like, oh, I have a great fabric for Game of Swans, and she's starting it, so I've got to start it too. So I'll show you what I've got so far. For this one, I did decide to go with the Gentle Arts conversion. I'll show a picture of Game of Swans if you haven't seen it, because I did buy the PDF. But it has a Gentle Arts version, and then there's a DMC conversion. And so I tried to look at a little online, and I ended up deciding on the Gentle Arts version. So I'm waiting for those threads. This is just the ones that I had in here, but it is really, it seems like it's going to be quite a little rainbow, which I like, of course. So far I've just got a Holly Berry and Briar Rose already in my stash. But the fabric that I picked is 32 count linen by Color and Cotton, and it's a color called Tea Leaves. And it's very true to what I would think tea leaves would be. You know, it's kind of a greenish, it's a very neutral, but it's still kind of green. But it's not a cool green. It's a very warm green, you know. but it's almost close enough to, you know, just being beigeish yellow. I mean, I don't know if it's, I think it's gonna be great. So I love coloring cotton fabrics, of course, and every piece I have I stitch on. So that's gonna be the 9th and the 10th. Then we are visiting Sun Goddess from 2018. That was one that I started last year, and I actually have made some progress on this since Mania. So I'll show you where I'm at on that. Mostly skirt is what we're looking at. Yeah, solid color stitching. I just am still confused basically as to what to do with a mirabilia besides stare at it and just feel overwhelmed. Because it's basically, you kind of have to treat it, as far as I can tell, as like a full coverage. And I can't just follow my stitching desired direction wherever I go. You really have to be, you know, somehow break it down and go at it piece by piece somehow, because it, you know, it's full coverage. The lady is full coverage. But yeah, this is on 32 count Picture This Plus Da Vinci, which I think is such an interesting fabric, and I have another 1/4 yard of it, and I would eventually like to do something with it, but I don't know what, because it must be for, it's for people who definitely like purple, and that purple and the orange, you know, I could see maybe a Halloween piece or something going on it, but not a scary one. But I think, you know, like I said, it's Da Vinci, so it has that Renaissance kind of marbled look to it. Okay, I don't even know, I don't think I put that in the right bag. Okay, let's see, so that's going to be the 11th and the 12th. And then the 13th, I also kept one from last year, which I haven't worked on since Mania, but it's still here and I still like it. So that's called Winnie's Music, and it is a black work piece. Yeah, I had started this because I was like, oh, I'm going to start it on the 13th for dark 13 stitching, but this was just, it's not dark. It doesn't have anything to do with that. So I'll show a picture of what this looks like. But there's not a lot of cross stitching in it, and it's all really back stitching, and you know, sometimes I think I'm here to cross stitch, and other times I think I'm here to do other things. But I kind of like projects that have more cross stitching in them, apparently. But this is the thread that I'm doing is DMC 4000. I think it's one of the color variations. Yeah, 4000. So it's a brown to gray variation. So that's on the 13th and the 14th. Now, this is the only whip remaining from 2017 or earlier Mania, and I really feel sorry for him because he suffers from neglect. And this is John Lennon, which is an art, or Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a mini. That's artwork by Jim Warren. And really the only reason that he really suffers is because of my inexperience when I was starting this. My first full coverage piece. And I don't want to stitch the background, I just want to stitch the foreground. So, this is on 22 count Hardanger that was dyed by Garibaldi's Needleworks. And I love the fabric, you know, I love purple, so I don't want to get rid of it or mess it up. I want to somehow redeem John Lennon. You know, this is just his face. It's almost a page. I mean, this is a border and that's a page finish. So I've thought about it, and I could just start fresh on a new page if I really needed to have a new start, just to keep him in here, you know. But I don't even know, like, why left all these threads parked, and they're just all long, and I'm like, well, you know, I had originally kitted him up entirely and gotten a skein of DMC for everything in the kit, and I've been cannibalizing the kit when I need DMC. So I don't, ugh. But I love that piece of art, you know. Like I said, I don't want to do the background. I would just do the foreground. And then I love those piano keys up there, you know. So that's the 15th and the 16th. Now this is where we're ending, you know. The traditional mania goes for the first 15 days, but this year is 2019, and so I'm officially extending it to the 19th. So on the 17th, I had to move these around because I think I might have started this like on the, let me see if I wrote it down. I started on May 20th last year, and the reason I did that was because I was finishing up Hoity Toity, and it was on 28 count even weaved, and I just loved it. And so quilts had come out, and this is on 28 count even weave, and this is another Long Dog sampler, which I love this one too. I mean, this is really fun, although I only worked on it a little bit in the fall and the winter. So yeah, that will come out to play, but that's definitely, I mean, I plan to keep that one, working on that one. That will come out to play on the 17th. Now last year, okay, the idea for my last projects, when we're going into the 18th and the 19th for the year celebrations 2018, now I'm planning to finish it out for the month with a bang, something that's gonna be thematic for my mania, you know what I mean? So last year's I ended was 4 elements from Norse needlework, and I saw this stitched at a retreat last year, and I had to get it after that. So I bought the fabric at that retreat too from Leslie. And this is Whimsical Winter. Oh, that's upside down. Whimsical Winter from Under the Sea Fabrics. And that's about 1/4 of the pyramid, I think. And I'm doing that with 2 strands of the overdyed threads that are called for 2 strands, yeah, over 2 threads. So that's a good one too. Yeah, it's a shame I haven't been able to work on this one more. But that, I have worked on it a little bit over last year. I mean, that's more than I got with my start, definitely. And that's a pretty one. So that was really my theme from last year. Was, you know, this is really after the fact too. I mean, I wasn't setting out. I had wanted to finish Mania with something special, something that represented what I believed in. I love the 4 elements just as being something balanced and complementary, and, you know, just something very natural and organic. So what's going to be going on for this year on the 19th that I'm going to be finishing out the month, finishing out my Mania with, and going to be nice club close friends with for the past year? Well, this is something really special to me, and that is Rosewood Manor inspiration. I had seen, you know, Rosewood Manors for a while, of course, but I had never really seen a finished inspiration up close until I saw Cross Stitch with Luda earlier in the year showing hers, and I was like, that is just, I've never seen anything like this pattern. So I just happened to look on the internet, and someone was selling it, you know, used, whatever, for a discounted price. So I picked it up, and that's really what I wanted to take away from this year's Mania, was the feeling of inspiration and all these things that I enjoy and I'm blessed and privileged to be able to do in my spare time, you know, and create. So I want to be inspired. So for this one, I had originally planned a different color and cotton fabric, but it was only 1/4 yard, and I finally decided, you know, I can't make sense of an inch margin, because I do want to have it finished, I do want to have it framed, and if I just have an inch margin, that's just gonna, the fabric, it wasn't worth trying. I loved the fabric too much. I could use it on a different project, you know, and this one, I just didn't want to make any errors. So I ordered the called for fabric from Picture This Plus. I ordered it on April 15th. So I'm only hoping that it's going to get here by the 19th. You know, it usually comes in a month. It's going to be 32 count chime, and I ordered 1/2 yard of that, so I will have plenty of border space. So the middle part, I understand it's going to be on 32 count, because the middle part is 1/1. So you don't really want to go much smaller than that, you know. But yes, I'm going to be using DMC. I've already got it all kitted up, pulled all the threads and everything. I'm just waiting on the fabric, but like I said, that's my last start on the 19th, and that's going to be my 2019 Mania finish. So that's going to be fun. Ooh, got through that whole thing. I'm so glad that you guys stuck it out. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some vlogs during the month of May about stitching, maybe about once a week. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, I really like being able to share my stitching with you guys. Let me know about your Mania video so I can make sure to watch it, because there's still, like I said, less than a week left till Mania starts, and we're all trying to get ramped up about it. So I'd love to see your video if you have one out, and other than that, I'll see you guys in May.